Okay, you may be a little confused about what you're watching here, but what this is a video of me hitting an entire bucket of balls. So that's about 80 balls or 85 balls, and what's that? Okay, I'm about to hit a 54. I just signaled to the camera. So this is me hitting an entire bucket of balls. I have zero idea if this would be of interest to anyone to watch this. Hopefully it is, but it might not be. But basically, what it is going to be. A lot of people have emailed me and sent me messages through YouTube and Twitter and other places, wondering how the no turn and cast drill video that I did with Monte Sheinblum. You can see it just by clicking onto my channel, and it's the top video on my channel. So wondering how my progress has been going since I've done that drill. So the day that I shot this video of me on the range, I had just shot a couple of hours ago. I had shot 70 from the Long Beach Open tees at Skylinks. Oh, there's a nice almost thin shank or something that I hit. So I just shot 70 out at Skylinks, of course here in Long Beach, and playing really well. So also the main point of this channel, obviously, because it's called Be Better Golf, is to be better at golf. So I'm just a little quick, that also wasn't a good shot, a little quick brief on who I am. Is I'm a not a professional golfer. I'm not a teacher. I'm not anything other than an obsessed golfer trying to get better. I'm about a 3 handicap. When I started this whole journey of trying to get better, I was about a 3.8. Now I'm a 3.1 after some good scores, and I have really been seeking far and wide of trying to get better. So this is just going to be a commentary of how I'm doing in this process. Obviously, it was a bad idea to wear a black sweater against a black background, but I wanted to shoot this at night because almost pro tracer style, you can see where the ball is going. Now you'll see the way the camera is set up and the way for what I'm aiming for is you'll see that most of the shots look like they're tiny pools, and indeed they are. So it is one of the issues that I have sometimes with the no turn and cast drill, that I do pull it sometimes just a little bit. That one's a little. That one was straight. That one was good. And you'll see every time I hit a really good one, I'll put a thumbs up just so that I know in the camera that it was good. So really what I'm working on now, after I've been doing it for a while, is I'm working on the right hand should feel like it's just casting the club down. It should feel the exact opposite of what every golf instructor tells you to do as far as holding the lag and ringing the bell, pulling the handle, all that stuff. It should feel just like you're totally dumping out the lag on the way down. And what that does is speeds up the right hand. So it's just very crucial for club face control. I think I hurt my elbow a little bit on that shot. And you'll see I'm a little cautious from this point on, but I get over it. So what's really crucial for club face control is that the way in which you flip it out and the way in which you dump it with the right hand is really important, that you get it going on plane and from the inside and then finishing to the inside. You definitely don't want to, when you're doing this, you don't want to be thinking, if you're pulling it, you don't want to be thinking, oh, I need to swing to right to first base, like I've been told a million times. With this way, you just have to be thinking, hit it from the inside, and you can also finish to the inside. And that was a good one. I'm aiming just over that red double bucket you see there, past my pants. So what helps me keep club face control and keep everything really on plane is, I did it well that time, is to hit, so you'll see me hit a progression of 3 shots. Let me just fast forward a little bit here. So you see me hit a progression of 3 shots. I'll hit basically like a 50-yard shot. If I'm using a 9-iron, say, I'll hit a 50-yard shot, and then I'll hit a 100-yard shot, and then I'll hit a 140-yard shot. So basically I'm going 25%, 60%, 100%, just like that in progression. So you're kind of building up, and all with a full length of swing. So here you see one of my classic misses is I will shank the ball every once in a while. So a la Webb Simpson, I'm setting up this ball just inside of that tee to think about missing the tee. So these easy swings are actually really crucial for me, that I take about 25% of my swings this really easy fluid swing way, because that is really where my body starts to feel where the plane is. So this, I think, is a 5-iron. I'm a okay, exactly. So let's watch that. That's a shank. So that was a shank so bad that I actually hit it. I think that was the rare inside heel shank. So where you shank it so badly that it hits off the inside of it. Actually, I don't know what that was. Let's see. So yeah, I just dumped everything into the ground. So watch my hips here. When my hips get closer to the ball, everything gets closer to the ball, and I shank it, which is not the case in that time. So not exactly sure why that happened, but it's definitely a shot I'm trying to avoid. That wasn't so much a shank; it was just a half top. So that's probably the lone horrific shot that I hit here, but I hit it when I was trying to do it 50% or so, and then I got right back. So that one was really good. So what I'm trying to feel with my swing now is to make sure that my hips, if you look on Monte Sheinblum's channel, which is youtube.com/hititlong, a good friend of mine and a major contributor at Be Better Golf, you'll see he has a drill called the zipper away drill, which is basically what you want to do is you keep your hips backed up away from the ball on the way down. His video explains it much better than that. But what you want to do is keep space there. So if you know what early extension is, if you Google search early extension golf, it's basically when you're humping the goat. So it's basically a move to eliminate that, because early extension is something that a lot of golfers, even really great golfers, which I'm not one of, but even really good golfers will kind of have this early extension going on. But it's really to their detriment. You want to try to get rid of that move. So this is going down to like a 8-iron here. So that also was a little thinned. So when I don't feel like when I half top it like I did on that really bad shot earlier, and on that last one, that was a good one. It's from pulling the handle too much. If I'm become like a handle dragger or a handle puller, I will get too steep on the ball and I'll only cover the top half of it. If I really feel like I'm dumping the lag and flipping it, then I will square it up a lot better. See, this is a 9-iron. I'm saying I'm hitting at 50 yards, then I'm hitting 100 yards, and then I'm hitting 140 yards there. So this will just be, so that was 50, 100, and then that's 140. So that's my full swing there. Zip through. Okay. So now I'm starting to get after a little bit more. That was actually a great swing. That was one of the better swings I did that day. You can see with this swing, you'll see before I used to come up on that right toe super early in the downswing, and now, especially working these drills where you keep your foot down, I can stay much more solid in my base, having my pivot mentally driven by my hands. So what I mean by that is, forever from the kind of the golf teaching that I had been following, I had always tried to have, that's a good one, a little fade, but really balanced nicely. Forever I had always tried to, I'm saying something here. So half swing, full swing. So that's how I really feel the move, golf course swing. So forever I had tried to have what they call pivot powered hands, and I'm pulling out a 3-wood here. And now I'm almost feeling exactly the opposite, having hand powered pivot. So so it's just a little half swing just to get the feeling. So what I want to do is even though that's the feeling, I know that no matter how hard I try to have my hands and arms go first, because I'm an experienced golfer and I've been dragging the handle for so long, I'll never do that. I will always lead with my lower body, no matter how hard my intention to go with the upper body first is. So that's really where I think people that are pretty good golfers are going to be able to get to that next level of really like elite amateurs, which is what I'm trying to be. I'm 35 now, and I would really love by the time I'm 40 to be able to compete in some of the bigger amateur events. Oh, that's beautiful. That was a great shank there. So let's see why that happened. Okay. Coming in. Okay, how's a rocket? Right there. See that? It makes me totally disgusted on the court on the driving range to do this. See how my hands just get kind of out towards the ball, and that's because my hips have crowded me. Here, my hips haven't gotten deep enough. They turn early, and they've crowded my elbow, which then gets kicked out, and everything else, the entire club gets kicked out too. There. So that basically that hasn't happened to me on the course in over a year, but it will happen to me on the range about 2 times a range session. Actually, I'll hit a shank. So just zipping through this a little bit here. All right, so I got my wedge again here. Just trying to stay true to my promise to show every single shot of this bucket because I really am trying to hide nothing. So that's actually one of the drills Monte will have you do. Monte Sheinblum will have you do is just hit a lot of pitch shots where you pitch the ball in this way that's described in his short game video that you can get on his website. Basically, what it is a mini version of. So now I'm going to hit a full shot. Is a mini version of the no turn cast drill. Is you're basically dumping everything out on your way down, and you're really exposing the bounce. So it just feels like a big flip. And for anybody that's been golfing anything more than a couple years, I think this is really going to help a lot of people. All right, so that was like 25-50%, and then that was my full wedge shot there. Basically, I'm just showing this is my hybrid. This club. I'll do a what's in the bag later, but this club has really been an amazing club for me. This old Adams hybrid. This is about like a 2006 or 2007 hybrid that is still used on tour today. It's better than any of the new ones. Certainly better than any of the Adams clubs that have come out since TaylorMade bought them. So definitely, I would go try to pick this one up. I forget the name of it, but I'll put it in the what's in the bag video. Because this is definitely a stroke saver for me, this club. And I hit it pretty well usually. And on cue, I hit a really good one there. So that all that is like, it's funny, with most swing tips and things that I work on, and here's the driver. So with most swing tips and things that I work on, they only work for 1 or 2 days. And with this no turning cast drill that was in my hit driver longer and straighter video, that has become really popular. With that, I still, no matter how much I feel it, I'm still not losing the feeling of the drill. Like with everything else, you know, put the towel under the arm or try to take swings flat-footed. I'll kind of lose the magic of that tip immediately, you know, within just a couple swings. But with this, it really doesn't matter. All right, obviously. So you'll see these healed shots will happen when I'm first taking these super easy swings, because your sequence and your feeling has to be really, really good when you're swinging slow. So that's about like a 50% swing there. So now I'm going to try to start amping it up a little bit. So here we go. This is a slider 430. I used to be so steep with my driver. That's a great one. I used to be so steep with my driver that I needed every equipment advantage that I could get to make the driver spin super, super low. So this is the slider, the 430 slider that came out a couple years ago is without a doubt the lowest spinning driver I think ever made. So now that I'm attacking the ball much more shallow, I don't need quite as low spin of a driver. If you look at our driver video, you'll see my numbers have changed quite a bit. But I still think that that driver is the best for me. I played a tournament last year, the Long Beach Match Play, where I was grouped with a kid that was a player in was a one of the top players for Cal State Fullerton, and the coach of that team owns a driving range, and every time those guys go to practice, they're required to hit two entire full buckets of balls of half wedge shots before they start their practice. So they'll go out there and they have buckets set out 50 yards, 70 yards, 60 yards, kind of like Zach Johnson did before he won the Masters that year, a couple years ago, and well, almost 10 years ago now. And so they'll have to hit two full buckets of balls, like basically 200 balls. That was a good one. Just hitting these half wedge shots. And the kid that I played with was amazing. He was just a little guy, but he was amazing at hitting those half wedge shots, and it saved him quite a lot of strokes. So I'm really trying to hit a ton of really fluid, easy feeling shots and a lot of half wedge shots in any of my range sessions. This golf course, this is a Hartwell golf course where Tiger Woods first played golf and first learned. It's an 18-hole par 3 course, and one of the best places probably in the world, I think, for a young kid to learn how to play golf. After this, he went on to the Navy course a couple miles from here. Another good course that is now open to the public, but when he was there, it was only for military. So his dad got him out there, and but I think Tiger probably before he was 6 years old had played this golf course 1,000 times. And now my son is 3 years old, and I've snuck him out there a couple times too. And they have the big holes, those TaylorMade Initiative 15-inch holes out of this course, so it's pretty cool to take kids out there. That was a sloppy looking swing. That was just folded up the top and just dumped across the line. So what I've been working on recently is, see, I'm setting it up right off of that tee to not really for anything other than just a reminder to stay on plane and to keep the club tight to myself and not hump the goat on the way down. So I'm switching out clubs here. It's back to my 3-wood. This also is basically the replacement of the Rockaball's 3-wood. This is the slider 3-wood, which I think is pretty great 3-wood. That was solid. That's the shot I always hit on the course when I'm getting kind of tired or lazy. It's this kind of dumped out slice. Okay, what I'm doing there is, if you look at John Novus, if you Google search John Novosel Tour Tempo, so that's the Tour Tempo tones that I'm doing there. It's bump, 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 like that. So what I'm reminding myself of there is, see, much better tempo there. So that's just a little fade down the middle that would work, even though I didn't love it. It wasn't very good, but the tempo was much better. So basically what it is on those 3 tones, you go swing, that starts your swing, set at the top, and then through on the 3rd one. So here it would be like this if you go to the tones, it would be swing, set, through. So that's pretty good tempo there. Not the main thing that I have to get away from with my woods is if I don't hit a tight draw like I think a good player should hit, I get a little apoplectic and upset at myself. And I have to start learning, and you'll see this in that video I did with Monte, that you have to really, if you want to be a good player, you have to learn to love the swing that's more natural to yourself. So that's a super solid fade, and I just have to learn to start loving that and stop manipulating my swing and start early tilting too much to try to swing from the inside and make it draw. So you have to really learn to because most players, as they're starting to get better, are going to, at some point, they're going to want to see this tight draw because they equate that with being a really great player, but you got to get over that. There's been a ton of players, maybe even more players, with a powerful fade. As long as you're hitting it solid, a fade is super effective. All right, that was a little pull draw, but it was pretty good. That's very, very typical of what I do with the driver, but it was solid.
All right, now I'm going to knock out the rest of the button. Driver wedge, driver wedge, driver wedge, driver wedge, driver wedge. Super pop.
Right, so exactly what I just said there. So I'm going to go driver wedge, driver wedge, driver wedge, driver wedge. So you'll see me flip flop. So because one of the main things you want to avoid when you're practicing, from stuff that I've read, is block practice. You don't want to hit 25 drivers in a row or 14 7-irons in a row. You want to be as random and stochastic as possible. Basically, you want to be switching around, just like on the golf course. You hit a driver, and then you have to hit a 7-iron, then a wedge, and then putt, and then there's 10 minutes in between shots sometimes. So the driver and the wedge are the two most different clubs, but if you can get your intention to feel the same on your drivers as they do on your wedge shots, then you're going to be well served doing that. So that was a good one. That's the line I want. I didn't love it because I'm still getting used to seeing it fade a little bit, but that would play on the golf course all day. I have to get more used to liking that shot, that straight slight fade shot, rather than my pull slight draw shot. So the same thing. So I'm taking the rest of these 10 balls, and I'm going driver wedge all the way. All right, that right there is something I want to share with you guys. If you watch my driver video, you'll see I go down in front of myself, and then when I go in front of myself there, my feet are still on the ground, and then I'm using my hips to power the club through. So that's a really important drill that has been working for me well, and it's good to remind myself of this drill too, where I go down, and then the hips power it through. So that's just an intention of feeling that I'm having that helps me sync up my driver to my body first, because I have a tendency to go super hard with my hips and then go really hard with my hands, but too late I get stuck. Because you go super hard with your hips early, you will be stuck, and you'll be just like Tiger Woods was his last year with Hank Haney. He was just disgusted with his swing because he was so stuck. And then he went to insane extremes to get himself unstuck, and that is what gave him the Sean Foley swing that worked really well for only 1 year, and really well in exactly 0 majors. So now he's changing it again, but that's his problem. That was a really good fade down the middle. That is the type of swing that I have to start to get used to. I think that's going to get me to be, if I ever want to be scratch, I'm going to have to get used to that solid slight fade. Because I'll just destroy my swing trying to hit a draw. Draw is actually super easy for me to hit with the irons. It's my natural shot with my irons, but with the woods it's not. So my setup's a little taller than before. I'm not I don't have as much secondary tilt, which is tilt over to my right, like towards away from the target. I used to that's a really good fundamental to have, but I used to overdo that completely. So that was a good driver. Now I'm going to hit a wedge. So that's that same thing. Every time you see me hit that shot, which is now that's the third time in this bucket I've hit that shot. That's me dragging the handle too much. Watch. See, that is just pulling the handle too much. Too much basically float load, if you know what that is. And that's almost half shank too. So that is just pulling the handle too much. And I have to feel that flip, that casting motion from the top. in order to sync up my body turn with my arms. Alright, we're getting to the end here. So there's that move again. That I think that's really a great golden move for people to try with their driver. Overdid it that time, obviously. So, which is totally normal for. So I'm across the line there, and then I didn't do what I was practicing. Look how far up on the toe I was. And then I try to redo it. See, I try to Rory McIlroy it and restabilize it, and go, but it didn't work. That was a great wedge shot, though. I really like that one. See, so that's me just being annoyed that I can hit a great, horrible, horrible driver, and then I hit a great wedge shot. So I think that's the benefit of doing this. Driver wedge, driver wedge, driver wedge. And almost every time I go out and hit balls on the range, I try to use my last 15 or so balls, driver wedge, because if you're hitting your driver really well on the course and you're hitting your wedge really well on the course in the same day, those are the days you're gonna like want to keep the scorecard. That was a great one. That was just really well in sync, and so that double thumbs up means it's really good. All right, last ball. So I hope this was informative, or at least interesting. If you've made it to this point in the video, the very last point of this video, you are really certifiable. Yep, that's all about it. You are really certifiable as a golf nerd. You are really beyond help. So definitely like and subscribe to this channel for a lot more golf content, and watch me continue my journey to try to be better. And I think it'll also help you get better as well. Thanks for watching, everybody.